Steph Curry amazed everyone by making an unbelievable offer to a homeless girl. The Californian afternoon sun beat down harshly on the cracked asphalt of the public court in the East Oakland neighborhood. Sarah Johnson adjusted her curly ponytail, wiped the sweat from her forehead with the faded sleeve of her t-shirt, and took a deep breath. The worn-out basketball in her hands had seen better days, just as the court where she spent her afternoons had. The aroma of Mexican food from the corner food truck mingled with the distinctive scent of the bay, creating that unique Oakland atmosphere she loved so much. When Sarah was 12 years old, she already knew all too well the weight of life. 6 months ago, she and her mother, Patricia, had moved into a temporary shelter after they lost their apartment on Roosevelt Avenue. Patricia's long spell of unemployment had taken its toll, but not their dignity or the hope of their small family. Sarah still remembered the day she found the abandoned ball near a garbage container. It had been her first sign of luck in weeks. "I didn't see you press the subscribe button on our channel. It will only take you 1 second. Please leave your opinion in the comments." "Just one more hour. Just one more hour," Sarah murmured to herself as she positioned herself on the makeshift three-point line she had drawn in chalk. The rusty rim of the hoop swayed gently in the bay breeze, but that did not bother her. She had already learned to factor in, even the wind, adjusting her shots to nature's rhythm. On the other side of the street, Marcus Thompson watched silently and in awe. The former college player from Berkeley, now devoted to community projects in the neighborhood, could hardly believe what he was seeing. The way the girl positioned her feet, the perfect arc of the ball, the mechanics of her shot, everything unmistakably recalled the style of Steph Curry. In 15 years of working with young athletes, he had never seen anything like it. Sarah did not notice Marcus's presence. She was focused on her own routine, the one she had developed after obsessively watching Golden State Warriors training videos on borrowed cell phones at the public library. Shot after shot, her throws found the net with astonishing precision, the familiar swish echoing through the empty court. "Mom must be coming back," Sarah thought, noticing the orange hues in the evening sky. Patricia always said that looking for a job was a full-time job, and Sarah understood that. While her mother battled for an opportunity, wandering the streets of Oakland with her resume printed on recycled paper, she transformed that dilapidated court into her own kingdom. Marcus discreetly took out his cell phone. As a volunteer coach for many years in the Oakland Youth Basketball program, he had seen plenty of talent on the city's courts, but there was something different about her. The determination in the girl's eyes, her refined technique despite such poor conditions, everything needed to be documented. His hands trembled slightly as he aimed his phone to capture the moment. As the sun set over the San Francisco Bay, painting the sky with shades of pink and orange, Sarah continued her series of shots, oblivious to the fact that her life was about to change. Marcus, cell phone in hand, began recording. The raw, unpolished talent of an Oakland street girl was about to gain an audience far larger than she could ever have imagined. The video began. Simply, a solitary young girl on a worn-out court. But what happened next left viewers astonished. Sarah's sequence of perfect shots went viral first on Twitter, then on Instagram, and within hours exploded across all social networks. The Oakland sunset provided the perfect backdrop, giving the footage an almost cinematic quality. "Have you seen this? Sir Streetball Sarah is simply amazing!" The hashtag began appearing in posts by professional NBA and WNBA players. Marcus's 2-minute video had reached more than 5 million views in just 48 hours. Sports commentators started analyzing her technique, comparing it to that of basketball greats. Marcus knew he had to act responsibly. Before the local media could swarm the court, he sought out Patricia at the Hope Haven shelter. "Mrs. Johnson, I think we need to talk about your daughter," he said, showing her the hundreds of positive comments and messages of support that were coming in every minute. His phone wouldn't stop buzzing, with notifications. Patricia, initially apprehensive, listened intently to Marcus in a small room at the shelter. Her eyes welled up as she saw the comments about her daughter. "Sarah always said she wanted to be like Steph Curry," she whispered, her hands trembling as she held the phone. "But I never imagined anyone would notice her practicing on that old court. We've been through so much since we lost our home." ESPN Bay Area was the first to arrive, followed by NBC Sports and a slew of local influencers. Reporters wanted to know everything about the Oakland Curry girl. With Patricia's cautious consent and the support of Marcus, now acting as an impromptu guardian, Sarah granted her first interview on the very court where it all began. "I just want to play basketball," Sarah said timidly to reporter Lisa Chen, her braids swaying as she demonstrated a few shots. "When I'm here, I forget all my problems. It's as if the court were my home." Her voice trembled slightly when she mentioned the word home, but her smile remained resolute. The story behind the viral video struck even more hearts as the details of her life emerged. A single mother struggling to find a job in a difficult economy, nights in a shelter shared with other families, and yet a girl who never stopped dreaming and practicing, transforming adversity into motivation. Social media exploded with messages of support. "Someone needs to show this to Curry. This girl deserves a chance. The talent is on the A-dirt streets. We just need to look." Local celebrities began sharing the video, and an online campaign to help Sarah and her mother started gaining momentum. The buzz reached the Golden State Warriors offices when one of the team's social media assistants tagged Stephen Curry in one of the thousands of shares of the video. The basketball star, known for his involvement in the community, stopped everything he was doing when he saw Sarah shooting. His smile widened as he noticed the familiar technique, so strikingly similar to his own. That night, while Sarah practiced as always, unaware of the magnitude her video had reached, Curry was already planning something special. The talent from the streets of Oakland was about to receive an unexpected visit that would change her life forever. It was a typical Tuesday for Sarah, or so she thought. The fresh Bay Area air carried the familiar scent of Mexican food from the corner food truck as she arrived at the court after school, carrying her worn-out basketball under her arm. What she did not know was that 3 black SUVs were discreetly parked 1 block away, and inside one of them, Stephen Curry was adjusting his cap, eager for the encounter. Marcus was there, as he had been in the past few days since the video went viral, but today his smile held a secret. He watched Sarah practice while constantly checking his phone and exchanging messages with the Warriors team. The sky was particularly blue that afternoon, as if nature itself wanted to celebrate the moment that was about to come. "Hey, girl!" A familiar voice echoed across the court, causing Sarah to freeze in the middle of a shot. The ball slipped from her hands as she turned and saw Stephen Curry walking toward her with his characteristic friendly smile. The afternoon sun cast a golden aura around him, making the moment even more surreal. "I heard there's someone here who knows my moves better than I do," Curry joked, picking up the ball that had rolled to his feet. Sarah stood frozen, her eyes wide with disbelief and her hands trembling slightly. I'm not sure you're real," Sarah stammered, which made Curry laugh heartily. "As real as these three-pointers you keep sinking," he replied, passing the ball to her. The sound of the ball bouncing on the cracked asphalt echoed through the silent court. For the next hour, the dilapidated Oakland court transformed into a magical place. Curry worked with Sarah on several shots, offering tips on her stance and technique. "Look, it's all about rhythm and balance," he explained as he demonstrated the movement. He was impressed to see that so much of what he intended to teach she was already doing instinctively. "Where did you learn to shoot like that?" Curry asked as they paused to drink some water. Sarah explained about the hours spent watching his videos, practicing alone on the court, and dreaming of one day playing professionally. Her words flowed rapidly, mixed with the emotion of the moment. The conversation took a more serious turn when Sarah casually mentioned the shelter. Curry listened intently, his face revealing a blend of concern and determination. He had done his research before coming, but hearing her story firsthand was different. The gentle bay breeze carried the weight of her words. "Sarah," said Curry, sitting next to her on the sidewalk, "you have a special talent. But gifts need to be nurtured the right way." He paused, choosing his words carefully. "How about studying at the Oakland Heritage Academy? They have one of the best girls' basketball programs in the state." Sarah's eyes filled with tears, reflecting the setting sun. "But I don't think we can afford it." "Don't worry about that," Curry smiled, gently placing his hand on her shoulder. "My foundation will take care of everything. Full scholarship, uniform, school supplies, everything you need to focus solely on being both a student and an athlete." The sun was beginning to set in Oakland, casting a golden glow over the court, where a little girl had just taken her first step toward her dream. The moment was perfect, as if the universe had conspired to make that instant unforgettable. 3 months passed since that magical afternoon on the East Oakland court. The modest but cozy apartment in the Lake Merritt neighborhood reflected the dramatic change in Sarah and Patricia Johnson's lives. The walls, once bare, now proudly displayed the Oakland Heritage Academy uniform, a framed photo of Sarah with Steph Curry, and a chalkboard where Sarah recorded her statistics and daily goals. Patricia adjusted the badge of her new position in the administration of the Warriors Community Foundation, a job that Curry had discreetly helped her secure. "Are you nervous for your first official game, dear?" she asked, as she watched Sarah arrange her number 30 uniform, a choice that made Curry smile when he learned of it. The scent of freshly made waffles filled the apartment, marking a new tradition for game days. On the immaculate court of the Oakland Heritage Academy, Sarah took a deep breath, soaking in the moment. The gym was packed for the season opener, with families and students filling every available space. Her new teammates had already embraced her as family, impressed not only by her talent, but also by her humility and work ethic. The sound of sneakers squeaking on the polished floor echoed throughout the venue. "Remember what we practiced," said her new coach, Amanda Chen, during warm-up. "You are ready for this. Keep your focus on the game, not on the audience." Sarah nodded, performing her warm-up routine, the very one she had perfected on that dilapidated court, now refined with professional training and top-notch equipment. What Sarah did not know was that, discreetly seated in the back rows of the bleachers, wearing a low-profile cap and sunglasses, sat Steph Curry. He had promised himself that he would follow the progress of his protégé, always keeping enough distance so as not to overshadow her moment. Beside him, several Warriors executives watched intently. When the game began, all of Sarah's preparation manifested. Her first three-pointer cut through the air in a perfect arc, Swish, just as she had practiced thousands of times. The gym erupted in applause. A girl in the front row held up a sign that read, "Street Ball Sarah, from the abandoned court to the stars." Marcus Thompson, now a frequent visitor to the games, smiled beside Patricia. "That girl on the old court has transformed into a true athlete," he commented, recalling the day he decided to take out his cell phone to record. And to think that it all started with a video. During the game interval, with her team in the lead thanks to her 15 points, Sarah briefly glanced at the stands. Her eyes met Curry's, who discreetly made his characteristic night-night gesture. She smiled, understanding that this was only the beginning of a much larger journey. The final scoreboard showed a victory for Oakland Heritage, with Sarah emerging as the game's top scorer. As the crowd celebrated, Curry left silently, satisfied. He knew that he had helped change not only one life, but also inspired countless other children who, like Sarah, merely needed an opportunity to shine. Sarah Johnson, the girl who once practiced alone on an abandoned court, had finally found her place. Her dream of reaching the WNBA now seemed possible, not by magic or luck, but through a combination of talent, dedication, and the generosity of those who chose to make a difference. The old court in East Oakland still remained, but now served as a reminder of where it all began and of how much a single opportunity can change an entire life.